I don't usually talk very much when I read because I have so many words to get out, and I want to make sure that there's time for all of those words. So I'm very pleased that most of you have read Culture of One, so I don't have to explain anything about it. I'm going to read from Culture of One and then Songs and Stories of the Ghouls. These are the two books that came out last year. Is this correct? Does this sound right? Okay. The secret. Nobody knows who one is. Therefore, I sought you to tell you who I was, though I didn't know. I keep trying to prove my connection to the soil I stand on. I can't do that, yet speak to someone of la vie de mon cœur, for at that moment I am only the one speaking. If reality in all its details were but aspects of a voice, it would not be language. Rather, one would be obligated to define voice, as in the voice of the rose, the voice of Rue des Messageries, the voice of your continuity in the body of M. The secret is telling me to write by rote. Okay, I'm doing that. Until it speaks. Somewhere along the line, it started to. It knows my course, though I don't. It would tell me to speak in French if it cared. It doesn't give a shit. That's it talking now. I am more powerful than a president. I am a charmed and desperate poet speaking to everyone. This is the concert, basically. Beginning with Marie working on the codex and falling asleep. Is she stupid? Marie cannot believe how beautiful, and she made it, this codex page inscribed with nothing she'd imagined before. It's an accident. In the midst of poster paint purple, a certain tremulous hand, like hers, skinny-fingered, but you know it's touching you because it does. Feel it. Just some mammalian paw that's pulled itself through time's ooze. No evolutionary theory admits of mercy or the transmission of such through oculatory stimulation or tone of voice. Marie hears the hand humming. She has made it, and it is saving her. Glorify it some more. She has a book of flower stickers, pansies, forget-me-nots, red roses, carnations, and she pastes them around the edges, adds gilt paint glints to the purple, soft roar of the hand of assuagement. Marie has created the icon of peace and rest by herself. She is in beauty, falls asleep, dreaming of a dove's murmur. Marble eyes. Should I swallow the lovely drug, now or after procrastination? Which flower should one take? Tincture of hallucination, wild energy, or heavenly drowsiness, altering the syntax of narration, its pace and vocabulary exegeses. The man is behaving badly, having been allowed to paw one for 50,000 years. He has orgasms on his resumes. I am the master of pensions for survivalist melting on the horsehair blanket. In the office or at war. String of images cleaning the paintings on walls of a cave. There's a swallow failing acid holes in its wings. I've taken too much of the drug. I sing shudderingly well, endangered for the art. Mr. Vacant Shards with no face and marble eyes. Why are you watching me like that? The ones you see clearly when you're high. He's dangerous, mercy, he's got a gun. No, it's his deformed stem hand with blunt tendrils clapping against those other ones, fragments of stapled skin. Don't bawl. I stopped caring what you wanted me to say. I stopped caring what you wanted me to do. I pulled back my hands but kept singing, couldn't stop. What else would you have me do? Is my name Mercy or Masochist? You'd call me either, wouldn't you? I pulled back my hands and stopped. The night without mercy, you called it. Do it for yourself, I said. I'm gonna remember or die. I'm sitting in the dark with my 1,000 arms folded, humming, singing. Eve loves performing my song. on the drug designer Wormwood doesn't know why these words pass into and out of her. The sharks keep up. When did I start being nice? You're not loving me back. Change your shitty diaper outside the church and grow up. I reject the theology I'm in, but I can't stop. Howling in the night without mercy, married to my species. How can I get out? A goddess can't die. I zoom like a witch, skittering over troublesome mountains. These are the hills of hell, my love. No love. No one loved mercy back. That was the point. I never asked for this. Have you gone crazy? Mercy has always been loved. I remember the first time I walked. Then you made me sit down for forever. Daddy masked me. Leroy sits in the Desert Theater listening to Eve Love sing. Where's Marie? She's outside. She wouldn't go in. Sitting in the alley behind the theater with her dogs, hears everything. Something merciless is happening. Eve Love is singing without love. She's screaming with lost hate, drowning in emotion, can't find its sides for pity's sake. It won't let her out. Can't you go there on automatic to pathos or love me or even kiss my feet, you sucker? An inversion that loves invitation still? No, it's all the planets have gone out, the blood from my razored thighs streams in the unreconciliating skies. My nerves are everywhere exploding with uncomplicated grief. Can't get out, can't remember any other tone. Her voice hates itself. Have you ever heard this, sister? The rain beats my ass with centuries of lurching, badly executed stick figure tangos behind my scorched eyelids. Comparsitas yap and reel too fast. Marie's fascinated by this hateful music. Leroy's crying like Ruby's leaving him again. But it's Mercy who was left for one night. You're alone, can't you take it? I've got to think. Unplugged. Languages of despair are dispersed through the atmosphere in terrible colors. My powerful daughters unmasked. The ancestors return raving. Every fucking dreaming night they come back. Dead as formaldehyded sharks, dead as bark canoes, as penised and bump-hipped deities, and dead as everyone I never knew, except the past, but I'm so sick of it. And get together with the deceased in black dust apartments. Remember the OD'd. They alive, perusing lush green posters of the transiently famous with you. Post columnists no one else recalls. Be actors in RKO westerns. I remember when you was a girl with a nickname. Oh, wonderful. Walk out into the pollution index 7 air and buy the Sunday papers. Who are you? A woman. What's that? Still haven't made up their minds. What minds? Wind-socked the minds fill while it's still light with capitalist blood-bite frenzy, tags and confetti dotted. The sexist scrolls continue to unroll in synchrony to the food, shelter, and energy rack bar. Press it, the ancestors shout. I had a great idea, but now I'm too old, etc. And anyway, I'm totally alone. I went one stop to the Gare de l'Est, bought the Observer on Sunday and Le Journal du Dimanche. My horoscope says, give everyone air kisses this week. Bighorn. The Satanist girl, listening to Eve, starts to block it with her own thought. An indigenous voice converses with her inside. No one. Someone faceless to talk to. Have you ever seen a bighorn sheep? I've been to the Dead Mountains, where you might see one. I didn't. My father drove us there when the springs were full and violet flowers bloomed. But I walked all the way to the Dead Mountains in a dream, wearing a pink sack dress and white low-heeled shoes. It was sick black night. Why did you go there? Who knows? I've been in the Dead Mountains all day awake lately. Here, they're here. I'm afraid I'm already dead. Everyone walks an Aboriginal trail, but rock art's obscure to the stupidos. I know what it says, born dead. Ancient art is replete with examples of eternal beauty. It all spells death to me, and this singer's dead too. The codex eats me. The dogs tell me it could be worse. I could be eaten by over-subtlety rather than this bold red or blue letters howling. Howling! That word again. The dogs open their mouths to word me. Have you ever dreamed you didn't have a master? We dreamed we ran down the gully to the river, but not without you. We couldn't leave you. I entered this desert long past the middle of my life, knowing that I could only have what I wanted on paper. Everything's covered with dog hairs. Shake them off the illuminated pages. No, they're painted on ochre, gold, and black filaments. I stepped outside the city of Paris, and there was sun on water in clear air. Surely a dream. The past loved you, though it didn't know you, but it projected itself towards my melancholy. Have I betrayed the past? Electricity and laughter taunting are inscribed on this page. The old house full of creepy scholars walking all over colorful decades, squashing them with large, ignorant feet. Can't you paint over their faces? Here is another D for dog. A dog undermines anyone, whether it's the dog of death or the dog of dreams. More oscillating hairs, white, shaded with gray and purple, or thinly gilded. D persecutes you with its sweet disposition. Yet I dreamed that a mean man announced in veiled irritation, for the dog had been part of his power, the dog is dead. A new dog will arise. Who volunteers to take charge of it? A healer raised her hand, but so did others. Who will be assigned to this office? Who can call death to order now that the planet has lost its blessing? No one. Marie's underwear. Can I stay with you tonight? Leroy asks Marie. He's left the concert early, but the music's all over town. We will never be alive again, sings Eve Love. Never be the species we once were. You won't recover from this loss, my lovers. You won't be there. I can't stand it, Leroy says. I can't be alone. And where has Mercy gone on this haunted Pearline night? Incandescent with fear, there's a lime-colored light all around the rim of the sky. She still sits with her arms folded, high over the elementary school, too high to be seen, high enough to remember. Leroy and Marie enter Marie's shack. At first they sit, he bleak, she more like curious. What's happening? We should make love, she says, and takes off her shirt and skirt. Her underwear is white and clean. Her scars are livid. Leroy begins to kiss them. What else can he do? Swimming in sacred water. The dogs have run away from Eve's singing. They've gone down to the river and are paddling with the current close to the shore. The water appeases their fear of her voice. Is water sacred because it's only itself? Like them, like I am, a dog almost thinks. Her coat darkens to chocolate with yellow glints. Her wolfish snout smiles, red-tongued. Beloved water, you are the only cure. When sunflowers stretch across my eyes, hot as veracity. The song blunts, but if the dogs knew words, they could make them out. The glaciers of passion are melting, my love, and there won't be a thing but your heat for thousands of years. My heat joins yours, where we'll be together, no longer living, my love. And Mercy says, look what you've done. Why should I help you forget it? I'm tired of forgetting everything. I want my details. Why shouldn't I have them? I want not to have been on the margin, pretending to be good. Obsidian necklace. They said it was all about sex, but it was all about power. Have you ever noticed that Mercy doesn't have any? A man climbs stairs, a woman sits below, looking rich but waiting. If you start up, they push you back down because you're not as hard as obsidian. Your true memories have never hardened, only the approved societal ones. Why, I remember. No, you don't. I was a child. Oh, were you? I believe I've always been the same, M says. Nothing happened inside me except for shock. Then I knew the universe was false to me like a traitor. Is that its character? Is treason the meaning of life? You're supposed to yearn for a lover. I wanted one at one time, but I don't remember anymore. It doesn't seem like the truth. I got myself into this predicament by offering assistance, by buying what some guy said. We're depending on you. And he was. He wanted me to cover his ass. He would continue to fill the high positions, fuck up, repent, and hold on. I would make you all feel better, especially women. I am your final role model, girls. I remember all this. Particulars? None. There aren't any particulars now. No one knows a goddamn thing. So how can you suppose you remember? I remember you. I touched you, you dumb blur. This necklace is very hard, and I'm putting it on. It stands for what I'll never know. It stands for the despair I've dispersed through Eve love tonight, and for what you do to me. Think of it this way, a new saying. It's only mercy's hate. Satan barks again. Satan the Doberman, leashed, won't stop barking. The Satanist girl has left Eve Love's endless concert and gone home. Eve's songs can be heard faintly. Who loves each other in the evasive dawn when the cuckoo sings no more? The Satanist girl wants to stroke her father's dog, but he isn't lovable, is he? Do I have a future? I think it's called discomfort. My Satanist sisters are too dumb to see the black aethels blocking traditional contentment. My guts are burning. I've never been a child or a girl. Why should I be? I never used my name to myself. Why should I? I didn't name me. I wear red because I like the color. I need to see it to feel sane. Eve Love should shut up now. Can't we make her stop? My dad's drunk and not even listening. My mom's got the TV on. Applause of the eradication of brains. Far from thought. There are adventures recorded in my scars. They're there, not in mind. So what you see is my past unrewarded, Marie says. And I can tell you all the lies I've told. No, I can't remember them. Everything that happened, no. Most of what happens is a lie. There is no record but lies. Why can't I lie? I'm not really here, am I? Leroy says. You're kissing my scars, my mind, Marie says. My mind hurts a little. Eve Love is getting tired on stage. The Sharks can barely play. It's almost dawn. Fatigue isn't good, she sings. It makes me stop crying, makes me stop being your baby, makes my mind leave. Diamond. No one is qualified to criticize me, the mourning dove calls. Are birds sexist, sexist, sexist? Like people, 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 the cactus wren cries. There's nowhere to live in this junk-heaped town, laments the burrowing owl. I have no money, friends, or hope, says the air to its damaged self. He disapproved of me in my dream. Then I awoke. It's too warm for Février. Observe your thoughts. Are they a poem? No. A long time ago, something happened that I embody. These clumsy, untrue words given to me by my ancestors will ensure my election to the presidency of a country of self-deceiving fools. The words say, we are not untrue. We are words. Try us again. There is a pure codex in your heart of Marie, glittering. I can't draw or paint very well, or even glue things neatly. The real codex is invisible. I'll continue to work on the false one. Plato sat down beside her dogs with a tin cup of camp coffee. Her lover had gone, I guess. Marie's lover, Leroy, had left. I awaken in Paris and drink a small cup of Carte Noire. This book This other book is impossible to explain. On the back, it says, an epic poem of genocide designed to create power for the dead. And I wrote that, so maybe it's true. I'm going to read a handful of short poems and then something longer, and then I'll be done. But first I have to say a small spell to get rid of the gully for a minute here. Those are very pretty roses. Was supposed to be endlessly interested. I don't want you. Driving towards the danger coast. I don't want you. I won't remember the beckoning grant. Won't remember the grave. I don't want you. Screamed, burned, ripped. It is a fracture that at first is taken for a joke because it's your first break. Heavens, the servant of memory explodes. Creation have done with it. No, it's not even old or odd. And when no word works, there can be no notification. I have the wrong in my hand. This handle staggers and loses its furnished shape. How much interest they pay. Is that what interest is? I have this hapless caught. I might have caught it already. Remember me, cries Hooker. No, she's up on the hook, still in the days of Looker and Ken. Don't you think you ought to arrive if you're traveling? I was finding the middle of the handle, howling, if it remembers me at all, and if it does, leave. I think so. If anything hurts, I'll suppress someone pushing my lace. If they offer everyone drugs so you can go visit your friend to forget that the sheets are soaked, that's some nurturing blood, he said. I was shot through. They hire people to take care of it so you'll continue to support the red flood cloth. I was whole cloth saturate. No one will ever forget you, Stead. Can you find my face yet? The power gathers around broken windows. It witnesses the overthrow each time one destroys Rome from within the sepulchre of Carthage. How do you do that? I open this mouth. Delenda est. The city I founded, I will found again, running through the cards you've used, all the cards up. The city I founded, I will found again. These are the new ghoulish cards with their own magic lice-made licit, suit of blood, suit of crania, suit of viral obligato, suit of blunting salt. The city I founded, I will found again. And as in those days was there not found so false a lover going on the ground, as whose power I will slay, this new city was burning into my forehead. I can't see it, give me something, you can have dread. Can I have justice? Never. What can I have, this new city burning into my forehead? The whole story was a late lie. Why would she kill? Kept her children. In this we cite city she didn't. We know what's true and not the tradition of blood of misbegotten treason. Scars tell a different story in high voice. I was possessed by the creations of a lurid culture, spear obsessive they came to take. No, this is over. The scars say, don't remember, though don't you? Can you make our art? They say. Shadows, the scars pronounce. Think with us. If you meet me here, I was lady. If I meet you where you were killed, then I'm no longer a civilian if I was your drug. There's nothing to replace what you need from the soil. Salted, it's perfect. You're lady. If you meet me here, say the scars. If I met you as lady, the senses of where you are now. If I met you without a conscience, why should I have one when you're asking me to assuage yours? The gas is always free when you're dead. There's no money where you meet me. Too bad. You don't know who you've been at any meddling or desperate point. The nerves I'm displaying along my back to be here, are they it? That is how I think, wordlessly, but I still have to tell you, as if you are me, centuries of distinctions. The woman in the hard case views the worms archly. You named it, I didn't, fascist smiling runt. I remember enough of this to ensure my phrasing, but I've never been anyone I knew. You're not used to yous, you really are. I stand here in whose eyes the name of light is audience, burning into my forehead. Waitresses' voices along the spine. If what was once light isn't my audience, what are you doing to me? Who was I broken for? Was it worth it to be? If I'm a shade acting what once will occur, it must be for the song I wore. Hear what they all said to you, a gesture, a tone. Someone lies in the intentional tongue, betraying you again and again, the one or the many whose thoughts I stand here before. Because there's no light, what an outrage was made of the science of definitions, like what happened to me, performing here in a mad scene, not and never mad. I hadn't seen clearly until I enacted her. Woman with antlers, deer-headed antlered woman in black against black lace, black-headed deer woman, lady of the mountains whose antlers melt into lace. Lady of the mountains emerges from my right side and all the lacy scars there. Why is she a deer? Because I'm not anthropomorphic soul of the mountain night. This is my echo from before, from what I had made for you vocally, and from before we acceded to the timeline, never like place. Lady, the mountain middle of no spatial universe. I have the antlers, she says, which extend from the deer head in the middle of our echo. Lady of wild animals, for whom the animals return. The deer with the heart or breath line through the mouth to the center, echoing. Do you hear the words of the conquerors, or do you hear the voices of deer? Echoes. Can you find a center in an echo? I'm finding, with the finder, the antlers paths leading from my head. I am the center of it, the center of the lady. Glory. The name of Gloria is Morning Glory. You could walk right into it and greet, I forgot, no reason. You are my word. The name of power forgotten is Morning Glory. I was starved and they had nothing except for Gloria's name, their relation. This is pathetic bread bought on Broadway. Walk out and get food, Mother said. Sorrow comes as a consequence. Treated as a malleable substance, blue or green, red, red for glory, no blue, green. I am green, holding up blue or red, because of the beautiful medieval conceit, the flower and the leaf. White woman, leave me alone. It's flowing through me for no reason, all this power for no reason for reason. When you enter the food chain as form, what do you see? What do you eat? The body-strewn globe bids you welcome. But I've been here before. Do you remember when you first realized people were willing to kill each other for almost no reason? Seeped into the blood or water supply, something I said or did. What do you have to say? You're cruel. I'm not. I'm not the one like that. But everyone says that. You didn't have to make it into a club. You didn't have to. What did you have to do? I was starved and wanted some bread. You had a club for killing people. I didn't have it. Someone has it. Kill them, you said. I didn't say that. Someone said it. Who said it? I know a guy who said it. You're so naive. If you have to kill people because you're born, why not have a club for it? There's no one here. There's no you here. Your leg is shaking. You've been to war. Is that a reason? You called me white shell woman, so I would be here. I won't let you die. I went back for you, though I'm just a word. There's a night when you don't say words. Do you know that? No, I don't know it. Millions of us. This will be the last word. Purportedly a chain of civilians, soldiers, voices, lice they were called. It is sometimes sufficient to beg. Lice creeping over one, kill them with a chemical. Then there are lice ghosts everywhere, glints of pearly nails. The light of my beloved will keep me from noticing. Trailer to keep her in, he asked me if I knew her auction name. Walked over the scorch. What are values when there's nothing here? The wing of a dead soul grows into all the lace you see through, foreigner lice-ridden article of divestment, splendid vices pouring outcomes over the eager cash flow promotions. So many of the dead came to me that their transparencies covered my visage. I'm too near you. Don't you want to see? We came from faraway camps, forsaking the human because it broke our bodies into pieces for the torturer's pet who propositions you. There is always a slant on it. The trees must go down, or light affects your eyes badly. We pleaded for an adjustment before we recognizably died. You told me you were a heart, but you were guarding a tower. You said you were a failure, but you helped destroy us. Wings all over me, stuck to my skin. There's no point to it. Why are you here when there's nothing? We just don't believe it. No, never you. I wasn't you. You have to talk to me. My name is irretrievable. No one letting you go because you are prized for not existing except as a body, now not. No, I don't exist, alighting and ghoulishly begging you for a drop of your blood, a morsel of your flesh. Yes, take some of me, though there are so many others with flesh, but they're too rich to give. I know they will never let you in, you beautiful kids who haunt the corridors extending through the invisible world, so you can find your way, so you can see past the smoke of disastrous fear, acting out of dreams. It creeps everywhere. See how it took them over, for they had no mind to stand against any fantasy the instigators chose, had no minds at all. When I was little, no one told me I'd have to suffer. Who could be a child? And the ghoul patiently explains how the wing of a word can extend till the barrier is made so they can't see us. If you say beauty, that will be ignored and we can hide. It was his name a long time ago, before the auctions began. Her face then was large and younger. She could be lice or ghoul. I want that. I don't want action, but I will have to live off bits of you. The new definition of witch is one who lets them eat you if they have to, because you keep regenerating. Oh, that's such an oldie and all that flying. Sometimes they do. The man who showed me a few things sits all day. The teaching is to let them come as far as inside you even, empty enough. I can hear them and render affection. Why, if there's nothing? Is this nothing? But you are destroyed. We shake all the time. You remind me of someone else I knew. The wing is inscribed for involute. Not to beg in the offering of primal services, we have come here. No one would let us tell anything but our bodily humiliations. Had to do it differently, not for redemption, because we are more than redemption. I am my maker. The shape formed by the bits of mirror glued on is unimportant. They're inside my chest and stomach, and they glitter in there. Then if light disattaches, comes up to be spoken, you can see and you can hear. This is true because each of you has this too, has all the bright pieces inside. There was nothing else left to be. Then I say it like these pages, or how they would love me for hosting them. The earliest people feared them, and subsequent ones deny the dead. Why would I be afraid of all the people dead and martyred? I thought you were talking about words. You knew I wasn't. Dido, who had to be delivered from the wrong story. I want you to know I'm no longer left over. What about our library? Nothing good left there? I want to read the fashion of when you were old a long time ago, Gothic roses in the type. I'm an ancient, had read every book of before they arrested me. I had crossed the black plain, I had held tears. It was abrupt to be walked in a herd pushing us wherever we went to be shot or executed in the earlier style. It is a timeless death placed next to the most beat-up books. Only a book can love me now. We're reading without real eyes. I've read everything too, or in the tradition of telling, it is repeated within you what we did. We must have been trying to make something as we are now, but why? You have the ear for it. The light wants you to reply, asking if a shore had been attained or if the language were Dutch.